Hello, my name is Katrina, and I want to welcome you to my first Flosstube. As I fumble through this, please bear with me. Um, Today I'm going to show you some FFOs, some whips, and some plans. And because this is my first Flosstube, I am going to go back to just the beginning of the year. A little bit about myself. I have been cross stitching for about 45 years off and on. I have 4 children, 5 grandchildren. I work in education in the counseling department, and I like to stitch. So let's just get started. The first finish I'm going to show you is the Mill Hill buttons and beads. This was a birthday present, or a Christmas present. I'm so sorry. I do a yearly exchange with the stay-at-home stitcher Erin and the stitching penguin Ashley, and this was one of the gifts that I received. I did finish it, and as you can see, I've put it in a frame. The frame is one, just so you know, my mother worked at a place called Sangray for many years, and I have boxes of frames this size, and they are perfect for the button and beaded Mill Hill kits. So this is one that we found that I liked, and I will figure out the camera eventually. And I finished it within the first part of March. I am not one that keeps track of the fabrics I use most often. I don't count stitches. I am not a full coverage stitcher, but I do some projects that are as large as full coverage stitches. The next one I want to show you is, I am also one that because I had 4 children and predominantly raised them on my own, I picked up most of my cross stitch supplies at thrift stores. I'm going to be honest, garage sales, estate sales. This is one that I had just picked up not too long ago by Lorri, Birmingham Designs. It is an Americana needle roll. And please forgive me as I reach for a basket on the floor. And I did finish this in approximately, I'm going to tell you, it took me about a week. I do like Patriotic stitching, so you might see off and on, I do a lot of Patriotic stitching. Other finishes that I have finished this month or this year so far. I did participate in March Madness last year, and I made it Mill Hill Mania for me. So I picked Halloween charts and Christmas charts for Mill Hill for the ornaments, and I completed the Halloween charts because those were the ones that everybody picked. So that is something that I did do first. So I decided this year, because I call what I need as a couch project, something easy to do while I sit and watch TV on the couch, I finished the Christmas globes from last year. And I've probably finished these all between, I'm going to say February 15th and just recently. And there is the Angel Globe, and I do just back them with felt. So there's that one. Santa Claus Globe. Like I said, they're all backed with felt. Christmas Tree Globe. Snowman Globe. And the Toy Shop Globe. So I did finish those. Like I said, it took me about a month, but I had already started them last year during March Madness. So they were, every one of them was started. I did not start any of them new. A couple of other Mill Hill kits that I have finished. These were also gifts from Christmas in the gift exchange with the Stitching Penguin and the Stay-at-Home Stitcher. I do, like I said, these are easy. They're couch projects. So I did the little bee gnome. And I did the little Beehive House. I like bees as well, so I tend to do a lot of bees or look for bees. I am a collector of vintage glass, so I do have baskets that I will be putting my little projects in, just so you can kind of see. Um, and I do have lots of pieces of vintage glass that I have used over the years, um, one way or another, for cross stitch things. Another piece of vintage glass that you will see that I have is, I love these candy dishes, and they are vintage. And you can tell I use them for beading because you can put your beads on one side. My scissors do fit in here. They just kind of slid because I'm trying to show you the way the glass looks. And I use them all the time. As I said, I love vintage glass. I will be honest, pink is my favorite color, so I do pick up a lot of pink. Um, Another finish that I have, it's not a fully finish, so I am working on the fully finish, and the next projects are not fully finished. I did do the Stitcher Shadow Box and Smalls collection from Sue Hillis Designs. Here are the two charts. I completed this early this year, and like I said, I have not fully finished it, so I will kind of show you. This is a piece of material it is on, and you can just kind of see that I finished each little square. I do need to pull them apart and make them into the pillows so that they will fit into the box. I did buy it as a kit, and I have the box here. I do need to paint it, but because I live in Colorado, sometimes it's not the best weather to be painting unless you're going to do it outside. I do also have the other pieces in here so that I can finish this kit. Um, Ignore me as I just kind of throw stuff on the floor. But like I said, it was a large piece of material. I did have to figure out all my calculations so that I could stitch them so that they would fit in their pillows. The next one that I have, and this one I finished, I think, right after the beginning of the year. It's also one that I've had for a long time. I apologize. I do not have the packet for it. It is packed away somewhere. I am, unfortunately, probably a cross-stitch hoarder because I have been collecting items from estate sales and thrift stores for approximately, I'm going to tell you, 25 years. It's longer, but we'll just say 25 years. So this is the Mill Hill Renaissance Angel. She is done on 14 count Aide. She did come with a kit. I have not ironed her yet. She does have lots of beads. There is a crystal heart. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with her. I do have more of these kits that I need to finish. And some of them probably are finished, but not fully finished because I just don't know what I want to do with them. The next two projects I did complete shortly after the beginning of the new year. And it is a temperature stitch from ApricotPolkaDot. And I did do the highs, and this is the highs for Colorado. And I did also the lows. So this is a temperature stitch that has the temperatures for every day for the entire year. And like I said, now these I do want to put on a pillow together. So one will be the high, one will be the lows, and I do want to sew them on a pillow. So that is my plan with that. Completing these. I am in the process of recreating a craft room. I am in between three houses. I have my house that my son lives in right now. I did live with my mother during her, she was diagnosed with AML, and I moved in and took care of her. And I have a lot of items at her house as well. I was there for about a year and a half, and she had passed away about 8 months after her diagnosis. And Erin, the stay-at-home stitcher, and Ashley, the stitching penguin, were probably some of my closest companions, besides my mother during that time. The next one I want to show you is Fox Forest by Embroidery. Forest Embroidery. It is a kit that I did buy. I am probably 3/4 of the way done with it. I apologize, I do not have anything bigger than a notebook to kind of hold behind it. So as you can see, I did buy the complete kit. I am about 3/4 of the way done with it. I have just a small corner down here to finish. This last year was I call it my precipitation stitch. So if it rained or snowed or any type of participation throughout the year, this is what I started working on. And I am not one that sticks to SALs. I don't journal. So it's one that other projects came into play. So I kind of lost it along the way. And I could probably finish it very quickly if I was just to pick it up and finish it. The next project I started, this was my New Year's start. This project is very large. And I am not doing just the Nora Corbet sleigh, but I'm also going to be doing all of the reindeer on this as well. So this piece of material is very large. I do have all of the reindeer and the embellishments, and the reindeer are sitting next to me. But this is one that I want to do as one project, so I kind of want the sleigh to be sitting there. And from the sleigh, I want the reindeer to look like they're taking off into the sky. So it is one I am working on. I have started the sleigh. Like I said, this was my New Year project. And just so you can imagine, this is a piece of material. It is folded multiple times. It is a very large piece of material. I cannot tell you where I picked it up. I cannot tell you what color it is or anything to that extent, because this is a piece of material that I probably picked up within the last 25 years. As you can see, it is very large, folded multiple times. So this is my start to the sleigh. And let me see if I can get the light. So I know it's on a darker piece of material. It is darker, and right here is about true to color. It's a deep navy blue. And it's going to take me a while. I kind of had high plans, and they're not going the way I planned. I thought I would have the sleigh done between January and February, but of course other things came into play, and because it is a dark material, it does take me longer to work on. The next one that I have is a whip, and I probably have in the upwards of 70 whips. So these are just what are not packed up. These are the ones when I moved from my mother's house to Mark's house. I kind of hoped to be able to work on these. I do have a little workspace right here that I do work on, and I have my outlight that I use, but it's not always the best space to work on for certain projects. And that's why I have some I work on the couch, which are easier count or easier projects. And then the ones that I work on here are the smaller count fabrics, the linens. So this is a kit. I did pick this up at a thrift store. I am not sure when or where. It is the Nancy Mirick sampler. And you can see here, it does come from the Peabody collection. Peabody Essex Museum, and it is a reproduction. And it does have the story down here of the museum and stuff. This one I have not gotten very far on. And I'm going to be honest, I have not worked on it for some time, but it is one that I really want to finish. My favorite color, I told you, is pink. My second favorite color would be purple. So I tend to look for things that have a lot of pink and purple in them. So this is what I have started on it. And it does have some intricate stitching I have realized that some of the stitching I may not have done the right way because it does have specialty stitches. And that's why I quit working on it, because I wanted to go back and make sure that I was doing things the correct way. The next start that I have, and I'm just going to be honest, I cannot say this. I don't know how it's pronounced. And forgive me as I grab things from beside me. This was a limited kit that came out in 2002. It is in French, and I do not speak French. It's Reflex de Sol collection, and this is all you get to see. And it came in several series parts, so this is what they send you that you get to see. It is a sampler. So it is a sampler that I'm not quite sure how it's going to look. I did work on this for quite a while. It is the material that came with it. So as I would say, I'm not quite sure what it is. It is in French, so I don't quite understand what it's trying to tell me, but this is what I have done so far. I do love the colors in this. The colors, they really pop together. And that way you can kind of see the way they look. This is another one that I would need to work on sitting in this area that I'm at right now. The next one I have is One Nation by Bygone Stitchers. This one, a lot of people are stitching. I do know that I bought the Freedom material that kind of has the blues and the reds throughout it. And this is where I am on the One Nation. As I said, I do like patriotic stitching. I do look for it. I do a lot of it. And it was funny when I was working on this, the first state that I got to do was Louisiana. I do have Vermont up top. You can see a little bit there. And the stay-at-home stitcher lives in Louisiana. So that was kind of funny that that was the first state that I got to stitch on this. Because, as I said, we have grown to have a really good friendship. The next one that I have is the Gold Collection Dimensions. It's Northern Nights, Aurora Borealis. This is one that Mark really likes because of the moose. I have not done a whole lot on this. It is one that I need to pull out and start working on again. If you notice, this is more full coverage. And as I said, I'm not a huge full coverage stitcher. So this is one that I do really need to work on. The next one I have is a limited edition from Twin Peaks Primitive, and it is Quilting Together. I went to, let me say it correctly, Nolans in February for a week, and I took 2 projects with me that week, and this is one of them that I was working on. And I only worked on this project the week that I was in Nolans. I'm from Colorado. We say it New Orleans, but you get it. And this is as far as I've gotten on it. I did change the spools of thread a little bit. I wanted to make them look like there was thread on them. So I do some modifications off and on. And I'm stuck with a headless woman. So I really need to get back and give this poor woman her head back. The next one I have is Let Freedom Ring by Lila Studios. This one is one that Erin and I are stitching together. The material I did dye myself. So it was at one point white Aide. And I have done quite a bit on Independence Hall. So you can see that Independence Hall is starting to come to shape. So it's another patriotic stitch that I just love, and I just want to get back to it and work on it again. 2 more. The next one I have is Owl Forest Embroidery. This is the black vintage sampler. I have not worked on this, to be honest, in almost a year, but I do love this kit. The minute it came out, I had to buy it. I did buy it as a kit. I did buy the floss and the material all came with the kit. So it is a and my mind went variegated thread. So I'm just trying to make sure that all the variegations go the same direction. I have completed the house, which I think is the biggest part on this sampler. And the horse and the little cat, the lady. And as you can see, there is some variegation to it. It's not showing quite good here, but I do have an Instagram, and I go by Gold Trinket on Instagram. And you can look up anything that I'm stitching. I am not one that posts much as I work on projects, unless it's one of the larger projects. I am one that probably would post more when I complete a project. The next project I have is Lavender and Lace Celtic Noel. I have worked on this. This was one of the ones that I was working on when my mom was sick, and I've had a hard time getting back to it. So I do need to get back to it. I do have the entire series. This is one of the series that I have wanted to stitch since I first seen it many years ago. I have her dress. I have some of the side going up. So I do have quite a ways to go. It does have the elaborate border, as you can see. It goes all the way around it. So I do have quite a bit to go, but it is one that, like I said, is kind of dear to my heart, and I just want to finish it. So it's one that I'm working on as well. My current project that I'm working on while I sit at my workstation, I'm going to call it. This is another one that I just picked up recently at a thrift store. It is a needle, another needle roll. It is by Shepherd's Bush, and here's the picture. And it did come as a kit. Like I said, I pick up multiple. I go thrifting every week, and I'm going to be honest. That's why I told you I probably have more. Probably have more floss than Hobby Lobby, to be honest, because I pick it up when I can get it for a reasonable price. I do buy it. This is one that, as I said, I also like bees. It's one I want to do, but I generally work on it while I'm working from home on my remote days, and I need a break. So this is kind of where I am on it. Um, you can see that I probably have a quarter of it done on the first section. And that's one, like I said, I work while I sit here at this area. I don't need the magnifying, but I like to have the bright light. This was my birthday start. My birthday was on March 10th. This was also a Christmas gift from Erin, the stay-at-home stitcher, and Ashley, the stitching penguin. I do believe this one was from Ashley, and it is Hive Rolls by Primrose Cottage Stitches. And this is where I am right now on it. So I'm just haven't stitched on it a whole lot. I will tell you, this little bee right here, this was hard to stitch. It took a lot of time. I didn't think it would take that long of time. While in New Orleans, Nolland, I did go to one little store that was not too far from the hotel that I stayed in. It was the only day that I kind of ventured out on my own. Mark was there for a conference, and I use it as I'm going to be honest, a little vacation for me. And I went to the Quarter Stitch, and here's their tag. And I wanted something to remind me of my trip to New Orleans. So I did buy a little Quarter Stitch thread holder. Of course, it has a bee. I did buy me 2 needle binders. I bought the little voodoo guy and a New Orleans Mardi Gras mask. And then they had some mask sets. I didn't want anything big. They did have lots of historical stitching stuff. of the buildings of like Jackson Square, the church. But I picked out just some little Mardi Gras masquerade. They do come with their beads. And I picked out a couple, and this was the series that they had. So I picked them up because I thought they would be simple stitches, something that would remind me of my trip to Mardi Gras. And I did get to, I was there during Mardi Gras, and something that I could probably make these in little pillows and put them in one of my baskets. I do have multiple baskets. Um, Plans. So we're going to move on to plans real quick. My mother was a seamstress. My mother did work for uh, Aspen Ski Wear before I was born here in Colorado, and she made most of my clothes during my childhood. I did inherit several sewing machines from my mother, but I've collected them as well. As I said, I do have the entire Nora Corbett reindeer series. So I am going to work on them, and they are going to go on the blue material with the sleigh. I do also have Snow Queen, and I want to use the same material for Snow Queen. So I'm hoping that I have enough left over. It's approximately a 22 count. And so I'm hoping to have enough left over to do Snow Queen. Another thing that I found at the thrift store most recently is a Jeanette Douglas Designs. It is called Tree Pine Sampler. It does come with it, or it did come with the Gloriana silk. I have never used Gloriana silk. Sorry, showing the pattern. I have never used Gloriana silks, so that's kind of fun for me to try. And because I live in Colorado, you can see it has a moose, it has a bear. Um, it has multiple things that kind of go back to um, living in Colorado my entire life. There is some fancy stitching, so that's one of them. I also received from Erin, the stay-at-home stitcher, and Ashley, the stitching penguin, the Little House Needleworks Early American series, the Betsy Ross pillows, and all of them. I will be doing them as well. These are I'm excited to do these. Like I said, I have multiple of the baskets. I have a blue one that I really think that these would be beautiful in, and that's what I want to do to put in them. I have also thrifting found an entire shepherd's bush heart pillow collection. I don't think I would do the ribbon. I'm I'm not much of a I'm a fancy girl, but I'm not a fancy girl. I don't know how to say that. But this is a complete collection of shepherd's bushes. They call it folios, and it does have all the patterns, and they're all heart shaped. And I thought that they would be nice. They are kind of seasonal. Some of them have, Patriotic, Halloween. There are multiple in here. This one's more an Easter one, spring. So I thought it would be fun to do these, and I can swap them out on my baskets during the seasons. I'm not a big decorator either, even though this wall back here is highly decorated. This is Mark's work. This is not my work. And he's very good at it. So that's something that, like I said, he does. Something else I found while thrifting is I found the shepherd's bush, summer, spring, winter, and autumn. And I would love to do these, and you can kind of see them. I would love to do these, but I'm going to have to try and see. I want them to fit in either this or this. Now, these I found in my mom's basement in a drawer. I do have multiples of them. These are the two colors, so I'm not sure which one I want to put them on. The trivets, these are from 1979. And like I said, I found a whole drawer full in my mother's basement. I didn't even know that she had these as I've slowly started to go through some stuff. This is just a ceramic tile that is in them. And as you can see, I can either mount them on a ceramic tile, or I can leave this out and use this as my template for the size I need to fit in here. So these are two of the things that I'm wanting to do. I'm going to be honest, plans, don't know when I'm going to start them. These are just things that I've picked up recently and I have liked. I did receive some birthday items from Ashley and Aaron, the Stitching Penguin and the Stay-at-Home Stitcher, and I'd like to show them, but I didn't want this to be too long for my first video. I know that I have a lot of stuff. Hopefully I didn't go through it too quickly. You're able to see everything that I stitch. I am a random stitcher. I might stitch one thing one day and something completely different the other day. Um, I have projects that I have stitched forever. I do know probably my oldest whip, and it is at my house, and I will have to get it out at one point and finish it. I started it before my my oldest son was born, and he is my second child, and he turns 30 on St. Patrick's Day. So my oldest whip is over 30 years old. And as I said, I've been stitching approximately 45 years off and on with children and school and life and work. And now that my children are grown, I'm going to be honest, my stash has grown and I need to start destashing. But I have more time to stitch. So hopefully you enjoyed my video. I'm kind of looking around. I don't think I have anything else to share. As I said, you can find me on Instagram. I do go by Gold Trinket. My name is Katrina. My father called me his trinket. When I was 16, I did receive a little heart necklace from my uncle, my dad's brother, and it was my first piece of real gold. And at that time, my dad started calling me his gold trinket. So it does not have any vowels, and I will put it in the description below. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed my Flosstube. I will put everything down in the description, and I hope to see you soon.